beautiful, proud. I must be respected. I must be protected. I am somebody. We are going to be united. We must begin to develop, number one, and this is the most important thing we can do as a people. We must first develop an undying love for our people. Our people. Our people.
I can't be a pessimist because I'm alive. To be a pessimist means that you have agreed that human life is an academic matter. So I'm forced to be...
When a man is being criminally treated, that some criminal has the right to tell that man what tactics to use to get the criminal off his back. When a criminal starts misusing me, I am going to use whatever necessary to get that criminal off my back.
I might not be back. I might be in jail. I might be anywhere. But when I leave, you can remember I said with the last words on my lips that I am a revolutionary. And you're going to have to keep on saying that.
Thank you. This is Brian, HRap B. Williams. This is the end of the mesh media as usual. This is a few minutes for HRap. Thank you to my parents, Dolores and John. Without Dolores and John, there's no me. Without me, you'd be doing something else with your valuable time. Thank you, thank you, thank you. If you're not watching this live, you can go to www.theendofthebench.com where you'll be able to watch this and the Black History information that I will deport this evening. Thank you. Now, hit like, hit share, tell a friend to tap in, because I have a very interesting topic today. What I perceive as an interesting topic today. It is, like you always hear, only the strong survive. And you hear a lot of these slogans that I believe are directly created to throw us off. To throw us off at the end of the day. It is not meant to be advantageous to our community, because the weak, you got to pull yourself up by your bootstraps. Only strong survive. You have to do for self. And no. I totally disagree with each and every one of those sentiments, because that is not beneficial to us. It is not beneficial to us, because if it was beneficial to us, it would have benefited us at this point. At what point in the history of the world has the Black community done anything alone? It took a movement. To quote the great Stokely Carmichael, a.k.a. Also known as Kwame Ture, to quote him, if you put George Washington in Valley Forge all by himself, the British would defeat him. If you put Dr. King in Montgomery, Alabama, all by himself, those racists, those nationalists, those bigots, they would destroy him. But it took a nation of us. As the Great Public Enemy album, it took a nation of millions to hold us back. So if it takes a nation of millions to hold us back, that means you cannot do anything alone and be successful. And that's why they say only the strong survive. The strong should inspire, brothers and sisters, ladies, gentlemen, haters, and bitter friends. The strong should inspire us. And why should the strong inspire? Because that's why they were put here. You were not put here to build yourself and only you and your family up. The strong were put here to inspire us, because they were put here because they can do it. Oh, well, you can do it. You can do it just like I did it. Well, sometimes you need to see someone else do it in order to be able to do it. You must know that it is a possibility, so you can say, if, like my man who in the chat room, his name is, we call him Fly Tie. If Fly Tie can do it, I can do it. If anybody can do it, I can do it. But if you've never seen it done, and you don't know the capability, you don't know the possibilities of things being done, how could you even know it could be done? And that's the purpose of it. Everybody does not have the ability to, they're not self-motivated, they're not self-driven. They don't understand the intestinal fortitude it takes to be empowered. And that's why the strong were put here. That's why people like Sojourner Truth, Crispus Attucks, Shaka Zulu on the continent, the people from the Ashanti tribe, those people were put here. Hotep. These people were put here to inspire you, to show you, hey, if Hotep could do it, I could do it. If Shaka could do it, I could do it. If Sojourner Truth could do it, if Harriet Tubman can do it, if Nat Turner could do it, if all these people who came before you did it, that is the indicator that it could be done. You could fall back and be like, I don't know. Well, I don't know if I can do it. That's too much for me. I can't believe that I can do this. Or you could say, man, this is what's up. I have the capability to be powerful. I can do it. And then you'll see it be done. You will do it, and success will follow. Or you could just say, hey, I did it. You need to be able to do it like I did it. No, the creator, God, Allah, Jehovah Jireh, or however you identify the creator, he gave it to you to inspire others. That's the name that's the name of the game. Individualism is not what it's out to be. See, when you watch those wild game shows, you see Cape Buffalo and you see lions running them down, and people will tell you they leave a weak one behind. No, they move as a unit. And if it is a weaker one, what happens is they'll fall back and protect it. A lot of those shows don't show you when the Cape Buffalo come back, and you can literally see them tossing lions up, fighting lions to protect the weak. And that's our job. See, this show is inspired by a cousin of mine, and she was speaking from the heart, and she was speaking from a genuine place. But I just happen to disagree with her. And guess what? We're going to still love each other. We still going to be cousins. And that's the beauty in working together. Both of us are strong individuals, and we will inspire in our own special way. And we will always, look, we could drive down the road like this, but we will come together and be one at the end of the path. And that's why I said the strong should inspire. Not the strong should survive. The strong will inspire. And that's what I want us to understand. We have to be strong enough to understand everybody doesn't have the gift that I have. My cousin told me she'd been through hell and back and beat hell and smiled at the devil's face. Smiled right in his face and beat him. And she's standing strong to this day, and she will be standing strong until the day she expires. But guess what? I offered a different point of view, and hopefully she started to agree with me. When we say only the strong survive, what we should be saying, the strong will inspire. And because I believe the strong will survive, that is separating the strong from the less powerful, because nobody is weak. You just have less power than others. When you have less power, that means, like me, I can speak well. I can look into this camera and I can speak from my heart, and I can take my notes, and you guys don't see me with my notes, and you see me do my thing. A lot of people, hey, Rap, you're pretty smart, you're well informed, but that's my talent. That's what God blessed me with. So when God blessed me with that, what you need to do is find out what God blessed you with. Because when you see what God blessed you with, then we work together, and your gift and my gift comes together. Now we're stronger. And then the people who don't have their focus in their eyes yet, we can pull them up and uplift them. And now it's 3 of us. And then if it's 10, it's 10 of us. Then if it's 30 of us, then it's 100 of us. Then it's 200 of, then it's 1,000 of us. And that's the only way we will make this work. Because if we separate ourselves from what's strong and less strong, answer this question: why does the military have corporals, privates, sergeants, lieutenants, captains, mates? Because everyone has a different level of power and different level of expertise. So if I'm weak in overcoming, but I'm strong in academics, I'm the warrior, you're the academic. I'm the immobilizer. I'm to get people riled up, and you organize when we get together. See, I immobilize, you organize, and we overcome together. And that's what I want us to understand. If you are not doing what you have to do while we are here, The people at the top will always separate us. They will always divide us. And then at that point, they will destroy us. Whether you want to admit it or not, that is the game plan. See, we have to look at where these sayings and slogans come from. See, this is why a lot of people in our community do this. Me, I become successful. Okay, rap, his podcast got 100, 400, 500,000 people watching every episode. His clips are getting 30, 40, 70, 80, 100,000 views. Rap goes from making $65,000, $70,000 a year on his podcast to making millions of dollars every year. And what does Rap do? Rap packs his family up and he moves down the street when people to a community where people don't look like him. But he don't just take his family, he take his tax dollars because he sold his house. So that those taxes that used to be paid into their house, they're not being paid there anymore. So that means that school has less funding. And guess what else? Rap is a light. Rap is a light. HRap is a light. And what am I like to the young people? There are young people that are listening to me and watching me, and they see me get out a nice car, and they see me wear nice clothes, and they see me speak in a certain way, and they see me mowing my lawn, and they see me hedging, cleaning my gutters, and they say, I want to be like him. But if all of us get up and move because only the strong survive, and the hood is they're going to get you. No, they won't. They won't get you. Because you will be the beacon of light that gives them hope. Are there people who are participating in nefarious activities that may rob my house, that may try things? Of course they are. But that's why I never put myself above the fray. I start talking to the people in the neighborhood. Hey, what's up, young brother? How you doing? I pay a young brother to mow my lawn. I pay a young brother to help me with the gutters. I pay a young brother to help me pave my driveway. I pay a young brother to help me paint my house and then paint the inside of my house and get different young men to do this. And my significant other, she talks to the young ladies. They see her in dresses and skirts and dressed appropriately. I want to be like Miss Williams. I want to be like them. See, that's what the strong do. We've been trained to move away from our people when we get to a certain status. And that's not the way. That's not the path of success. That is the path of defeat. Because if the strongest person in your community moves away, if we're at 100%, now we're at 99. And then another strong person becomes successful, now we're at 98. All they got to do is remove all the beacons of light, and then it's a dark cloud over the hood. The community has no light to go towards, and the light that's coming at them is a train. That's why you don't separate yourself. And that's why you don't separate yourself from your community. That's why you don't remove yourself from being the wonderful individual you are. That's why you don't do it. That's why, I did it. Well, you know what? Stand there and be the beacon of light. Because guess what? Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. could have clearly went to another situation, a bigger church, and done greater things. Malcolm X could have said, hey, I'm just going to sit at the top and I'm going to do my thing. Huey P. Newton had a PhD. Fred Hampton had a degree. Dr. Smith, Kwame Ture, a.k.a. Stokely Carmichael, because I say that backwards. His name is Kwame Ture. He used to be known as Stokely Carmichael. He had a degree. These people were degreed and educated people. They could have gone and started businesses and been some of the greatest people financially in the history of the world and took care of their families, but they sacrificed. The strong sacrificed and inspired me. Other people who talk about things like me, they inspired you. They inspired everybody. They inspired some people to go get PhDs. They inspired some people to go to college. They inspired a lot of people and a lot of things. And that's where we need to be in this lifetime. That's where I know the strong should inspire the weak. They should inspire the people who have less focus, less power, less determination in them. And that's why other communities strive. Because if I'm not good, hey, my uncle, other communities, my uncle's an attorney, my brother's an accountant, this person's in finance, this person's in carpentry, this person in plumbing. And they stay around each other and they use, hey, I could be a plumber like Mr. Jackson. I could be a surgeon like Mr. Washington. I could be a doctor like Miss this and so forth and so on. So no, you don't move away from your community. What you do is inspire your community, because the good Lord gave you the wherewithal to be who and what you are. That's what I want you to do. That's what I want you to do. Because if you don't use your strength for your community, it will be used against you. Then you'll say, if rap made it, why can't you? Because everybody's not going to make it. Everybody's not going to be a billionaire. There are only so many billionaires in the world. There are only so many millionaires in the world. There's so many people who make $100,000 a year. And there's more people that are working class, middle class people. We need to inspire them to continue to uplift. That's why I say every episode, this is for your great-grandchildren's grandchildren. This is for your great-grandchildren's grandchildren. That's why I do this. I don't do this for me. I don't do this for you. I do this for our great-grandchildren's grandchildren, because we need to be what Sojourner Truth was to us, Coretta Scott King was to us, Eddie Malone was to us, Percy Julian was to us, Marcus Garvey was to us, Medgar Evers was to us. Those are the people we need to be like. If you want to be in entertainment, you want to be James Earl Jones, you want to be Sidney Poitier, you want to be these people, you want to be Eddie Murphy, you want to be Michael Jordan, you want to be LeBron James, you want to be Serena Williams. If you want to be in academics, you want to be Thurgood Marshall. He's an attorney. You want to be these guys. You want to be a good close friend of mine's father, Mr. Gant. I don't want to say his name, but he's a very popular, Elijah Gant. He's a very popular attorney in this world. That's who you want to be. And if we start staying around each other, we can look over and see Mr. Gant. We can see Mr. Thurgood Marshall. We can see Mr. Poitier. We can see all these people. Those people are the people that we really need to be near and close to and emulate, so we can make it to the top. That's what we need to be. And if we're not that, that's what we will continue to lose. We will continue to lose, because losing is not on the menu. Losing has never been on the menu, but we've put it on the menu. But what it's time for us to do is dominate, elevate, and inspire. If you don't do that, you are defeating the purpose. What's the purpose? I mean, what is something that we can do so we can start elevating? Stop listening to the media. Stop listening to people who are naysayers and doubters, because they mean us no good. They mean us absolutely positively no good. Stop listening to the organized media that is designed to say, see those little young people and see that's his problem. Go and engage in your community. See, the beautiful thing about back in the day, because we all love to say back in the day, it wasn't like this. What it was back in the day, you knew everybody on your block. You knew everybody on across the street. In this street, you knew people around the corner. In my lifetime, I've been half a mile away from my house. I've been a mile away from my house. And ain't you in that, son? Yes, I am. That's where we need to get. Stop listening to the media. See, these kids and these young adults, and then we calling ourselves YN. I even saw a person I grew up with call young ladies YBs. No, we're not going to listen to social media and identify each other. We are brothers and sisters. See, the reason I want us to stop listening to social media, stop listening to news media, stop listening to all this foolishness is when you stop listening, you start interacting and engaging. And when you start engaging, you get to know. And when you get to know, you get an opportunity to embrace and endear. And when you embrace and endear, you empower. And when you empower, you become undefeatable. We don't need to listen to anybody tell us what's going on in our community. There's about 8 to 9.5% of the community in every community across these United States of America that participates in crime. 8 to 10. So that means if it's 100 people, 10 of them acting a fool, and the rest of us working hard and struggling and striving and trying to climb. So why would we allow ourselves to be defined by the worst of our community? If you want to listen to them and say Barack Obama is one of the most intelligent people in the world. Hey, why are we compared to to Michelle and Barack? But we're being compared to these entertainers and their women who putting on a facade. Former rapper, I don't know if he's still active, MCA said he does not allow his children to listen to his music. Listen to that. We are putting food on your table. You are allegedly entertaining us through your art, but you won't allow your children to listen to your music. So why would we allow those people to say, hey, it's like this? No, it's not like this, because we're listening to the wrong entities. If we allow other people to tell us what's going on next door to us, up the street from us, around the corner from us, of course, we'll have a jaded opinion. But if we start listening to each other, uplifting each other, inspiring each other, guess what will happen? We will become the most powerful nation in this world, because we got creativity on lock. We have stick-to-itiveness on lock. We have mental toughness on lock. We have love on lock. Contrary to popular beliefs, again, more black people love black people than not. If you don't agree, well, why is it only one Candace on? Why is it only one Jason Whitlock? Why is it only a few of those people out here saying negative things about our community? But then you got me, Karen Hunter, to read down your favorites, the late great Joe Madison, Mark Lamont Hill, Lamont King, Karen Hunter, Dr. Wilma Leon, and that's just on one network. You got Al Sharpton, you got Roland Martin, you got Dr. Greg Carr, and I could go on and on and on and on about the people who are doing uplifting work. The late great, excuse me, no disrespect, the most honorable Louis Farrakhan, the Reverend Jesse Jackson, the Reverend Al Sharpton. I mean, we can go on and on and on and on about people uplifting us, but we focus on the negativity. We focus on the negativity, and that's just not a good thing. We can no longer allow people to dictate what we are. We can no longer listen to people tell us what our mission in this life is, what our course in this life is, how we are supposed to get down, and because that is leading to destruction and dismay. Now, the purpose of this program is to say the strong should inspire. It's time for the strong in us to stand up and lead. See, if we stand up and lead, only thing that will happen is this: the people that love us will speak for us, and the people who love us and stand up and speak for us, they will only inspire, and they will inspire, and they will determine our future. How is it that the people that you honor and respect the most are the strongest people you know? Because we listen to them. My cousin, she told me that she's been through hell. Okay, guess what? In the event that I need to see a young lady struggling, I can refer her to my cousin. I can refer her to my sister. I got dozens of cousins, and I got a bunch of friends, and I can show them. This is the example. Oh, how am I going to make it? I have this, and I have a baby, and I understand, young sister. I understand. But here's the example, and I can put you on the phone with that example. Here's another example. I can put you on the phone with that example. I can put you on the phone. I can give you chapter, book, and verse about how people who are just like you started off at the same place and they uplifted themselves. That's why we need to stay around each other, stand up, and be accounted for. We need to point. Look at me. Instead of look at me and all my glory. Look at me. Look at these scars. I lived through them. Yeah, like I used to do back in the day. I put some aloe vera and some cocoa butter on them. I'm going to shine. I put some shea butter on. We going to shine. Don't stand up and walk away. Stand up and lead. Be the person that the young people follow. Let young people see you reading. Let young people see you caring for. Let young people see you inspire. Because it's easy to denigrate, destroy, and wave your finger. That's the easiest thing in the world. It's easy to sit back and complain and talk about what never was and what isn't going to be. But leaders, true leadership stands up and says, No matter what happened yesterday, we dealing with right now and tomorrow, because yesterday we can't fix that. We don't need to be looking for empathy. We need to be looking for sympathy. We need to be looking for people to join with us, because it's enough for us to fix our problems. But what we need to do, the problem will only be fixed when we stand up and say, enough. I'm not suffering anymore. No, I'm not dealing with that anymore. That's when we will win. That's when the community will be safe. That's when the community will thrive. That's when the community will be at its best. Because when we are at our best, we're unstoppable. But it takes a group effort. It takes you to stand up and say, okay, I got this. Let's move. Let's take over this. Because guess what? Every trip started with its first step. Every mission took the initiative to take the first step. And even if it's just saying hi to your neighbor tomorrow, and then saying hi to the neighbor to the left, and saying hi to the people across the street, and if all four of you guys start doing that every day, the people on both sides will start doing it, and it will, and that will grow. Introduce yourself. See, we don't have to pull out guns and start shooting and killing and murdering, and it's a revolution. No, you don't have to do that. You do not have to do that. What you have to do is start with yourself. Fix your own community. Fix yourself. Fix your family. Then try to fix your home. And then talk to the people to the left and to the right of you. And that is leadership. People think leadership is rah-rah and acting a fool. No. Sometimes leadership is something as simple as being kind. All you have to do is be kind to someone. And when you're kind to someone, it will rub off on the next person. And when it rubs off on the next person, you've led people to salvation. And that's all anybody will ever ask you to do. Lead, be the example, be the light, stand up and be accounted for. A lot of people think you have to be the orator that Dr. King and Malcolm X is. You have to be as ferocious as a Fred Hampton. You have to start the Black Panther Party of self-defense like Huey P. Newton and Bobby Seale. No, all you have to be is kind. All you have to do is care. All you have to do is do whatever you need to do to enhance the environment that's around you. That's all it takes. It does not take anything more than that. Being nice to your significant other. Uplifting your nieces, nephews, and cousins, not just your children. Inspiring your neighbors. Being kind. That's all it takes. Leadership is not always rah, rah, look at me. Leadership is look at me, watch me do the right thing. Not to pat myself on the back. This is leadership. I was driving down one of the busiest streets in Chicago not long ago. It was an elderly woman standing on the corner. She could not cross the street because it was not a stop. It was not a stop sign, a light. It was a stop sign. People just kept blowing the stop sign. I parked in my car. I walked up to the elder, held her hand, kindly spoke to her, and made sure she got across the street. That's the type of leadership I'm talking about. She would have been there for almost ever. She'd have had to risk her life and walk out in the middle of the streets in order to get home. But the leadership in me that was instilled in me by my leadership, that I instilled in my children, that I instilled in my sister and my aunts and my uncles and my cousins, instilled into our younger people, the kindness. That is what we have to do to make sure our community is functioning the way it should. Listening and just to do a simple recap, listening to our enemies is the dictionary definition of the destruction of us. Telling people you need to be like me instead of going and inspiring, you're separating yourself. That is divide and conquer. Stop listening to people that don't mean us any good. Stop trying to convince people of what we are about and show them what we are about. Let them know we cannot be stopped. And then stand up and be accounted for. If you stand up and be accounted for, nobody can defeat you. Nothing can defeat you. See, you must know who you are. You know where you came from, and then you'll know where you're going. How did I get here? You know the past. We know we don't need to recap anything. We don't need to go in front of the world and say, see, this is what happened to us. We know. Teaching our children our history. Teaching our children, embracing our trials and tribulations, because those scars on your arm is why you a better person. I got this cut on my hand right here. It happened when I was 6 years old. Somebody gave me a pocket knife, and my mother told me to stop playing with it, and it's a cut right on my fist. That cut represents a lesson. Don't play with knives. To this day, I don't play with knives. Nobody knows this scars here but me. So guess what? I can share it with my son. I can share it with my daughter. I can share it with my nieces and my nephews. And at this point, I have great nieces and nephews. Don't play with things. This is the type of thing that'll happen to you. And then, like, even tell the pain. Hey, I drank too much as a teenager, which invoked alcoholism. Or I experimented with street level of pharmaceuticals, and that had me addicted. Anything. Share it. Don't be ashamed. Share your pain, and let that pain be the deterrent of somebody not doing this. I went to church. It kept me balanced. Now you're bringing positivity into it. I communicated with everybody in my community. So when it came time for somebody to give me a recommendation or an opportunity came about, I was the person that they thought of, and that inspires. So now everybody's moving in one direction. So if you do that, if you don't separate yourself from your community, no matter how good, bad, or indifferent they present, if you don't listen to the negativity and engage and understand what's going on in your community, and if you stand up and lead versus being critical and being disrespectful, what will happen is you will inspire nothing but success. With that being said, thank you guys for tapping in. Hit that like, hit that share, subscribe if you haven't. Hit that like, hit that share. Go to, again, www.individualism.com. You can see the Black History video that I'm going to post. You can see this apps in this entirety. Go there, support me. Y'all been doing a bang up job. Hey, the month of August in regards to subscriptions. Salute to you guys. See you guys tomorrow. I have my man Ty on talking about his redemption story. He told you about how he walked down the wrong path. Tomorrow, he would talk about his testimony, how he at one point was on the left. Again, remember, at one point, he didn't have the inspiration. So nobody, and he didn't separate from his community. And he at no point in his life did he say, no, I'm too good for that. He didn't listen to the propaganda. You'll never be anything. And he stood up, and now he's the leader of the community. He'll be here tomorrow to talk about that. I want to wish you well. Thank you for tapping in. Please continue to listen. Please continue to like, share, and subscribe. This your man HRap. 2 fingers, 1 word. Thank you guys for have a wonderful evening. 2 fingers, 1 word, and I.
I often put it this way. In order for us to be in the state that we are in today as people, we have to be out of our minds. We literally have to be crazy. It is necessary for us to be crazy. It is necessary for us to be backwards. It is necessary for us to be maladjusted. It is necessary for us to be disunited. It is necessary for us to be self-hating. It is necessary for us to be filled with an inferiority complex. In a world where the European is essentially about 10% of the world's population, if that 10% is to continue to rule over the other 90%, it must keep that 90% out of its mind. It must keep that 90% in a state of deception. It must keep